To support this podcast, go to positivesarcasm.com/donate. Any amount is appreciated. Once again, positivesarcasm.com/donate. Thank you and enjoy the program. J-Air, positivesarcasm.com, recorded here from the Spare Parts Studio alongside New Hampshire's beautiful seacoast, rather sunny though. Like, subscribe, share, donate, positivesarcasm.com/donate. Any amounts appreciated for entertainment purposes only. Find me on Instagram at @positive_sarcasm. You can hit me up at my website, of course, in the contact section if you need to contact me with questions, concerns, or comments. You can also email me directly, positivesarcasm@outlook.com. You know, it's funny, last year we didn't really get hit with a lot of snow. Not really. Not really. It was actually a pretty easy winter to get through. I mean, obviously the rainy season, you know, in like March, April, a little bit of May, we got it, but then it quickly disappeared, and it was an absolutely beautiful summer. This winter, though, Seacoast got hit the worst. I mean, it looks like a snow fortress out there. I mean, I threw Chase in the snow the other day. He disappeared. It's a lot. It's almost to the point where it's overwhelming and slightly concerning. And yeah, it's also damn cold out. Usually the temperature goes up a little bit in my area when it snows. This one, yeah, we stayed at like a solid 3 degrees. Feels like -8. We got crushed during the day and then more overnight, and then we got powdered again in the afternoon. We got wrecked, absolutely wrecked. But I mean, nice and dry and warm inside, even though I'm dressed like I'm ready to go out on the town. But it was a lot. What's really cool is those, like, in the backyard, the marsh that overlooks the ocean. You could see all like the deer tracks, just big trails of them just kind of waltzing through like it's nobody's business. Deer are very populated in my area. Saw them a couple of days ago going through. I was leaving the gym, coming home. They're tracking through. They're tracking right through my backyard. The turkeys are all along the side of the road. My dog's literally pissing where he's pooping. He can't. He doesn't want to maneuver. He can't do it. He's just a big old puss bag. He cannot traverse this terrain. Like, he can do it in like short bursts. If he has to get from one side of the lawn to the other, he will smash through all the snow. But after that, he's pretty much a couch potato for the next 12 hours. You can't get him to move. Understandably so. I don't want to go outside for anything. It's stressful walking out there to go warm up the car. That's it. Like, my old car at least had remote start, whereas my new SUV does not. You know, first world problems, but it is. You walk out and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, this is weather that you can die in. Like, you actually in New York, I believe, like a bunch of homeless people did die because admittance to like a shelter is voluntary now. Where I think back in the day they used to, like, you're coming with me, homely, and they'd like drag them off the street and throw them in somewhere place warm. But now it's like, I mean, if you stay here, you could die. You're gonna die, but we ain't gonna stop you. Talk about population control. I mean, it's what they're doing up in Canada now. It's like, if you feel sad or lonely, it's like, you ever thought about killing yourself? That's the new first world medicine up in Canada, is assisted suicide. They actually dragged grandma out of a convalescent home? It's that one where you're probably not doing well, or you want to go through more treatment, but you're essentially you're in a terminal home because you're probably going to die. They, against her will, just basically ripped her out of that nursing home and just two in the head, so to speak. And they just, assisted suicide. You know what's funny is the person who, according to the article, the woman was killed at the direction of her husband. So her husband says, I don't want that old bag to come home. So let's just fucking get it over with now and take her out. So they did, and you legally can do that up in Canada. Just for feeling sad, they will let you kill yourself, and they will help you do it. So there you go. That's Canada for you. Socialized medicine. I mean, I'm not saying our medicine's the best, but you're not doing any better north of the border. So, I have a couple things to talk about. Going to keep this podcast kind of stick it to the point here. I want to get to a couple things here. This one I found interesting. I wanted to kind of open it up a little bit. This is from the Yorkshire Live Examiner. And this is about a barista who was let go after serving a Jewish family a, quote, swastika coffee. A swastika coffee. The symbol, which is, I mean, I love how they just keep peppering it in there. Like, somebody wrote this article with chat. Like, this guy, Tom Kershaw, and Richard Ashmore. It almost is like every article is written now with the assistance of an AI program, and it keeps peppering in the most obvious points. Like, I know, like, when you say swastika, we pretty much all know what that means. You don't have to say that which was used by the Nazi Party during World War II. We know this. We all know this. We know what's looked down upon. We know you're allowed to say it. We know you're allowed to talk about it. We know you're allowed to display it. At least here in the United States. But at the end of the day, we know. Most of us do read the history books. It's pretty common. We know where it is. Everybody dings, everybody dances to Kanye West. We all know what the swastika is. I believe he wears it around his throat. He wears it around his neck. He's got a necklace there. The article, a barista has been dismissed after allegedly creating a swastika on a beverage served to a Jewish family. Take a look at this coffee first off. This coffee is quite, it actually looks kind of good, but we'll get to that in a minute. The coffee does look pretty good. Let me get that coffee. Yum, 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 yum. Look at that. Delicious. Absolutely pure. Cream, please. So, there you go. A little bit of Aryan Nation coffee. Barista has been let go, creating a swastika on a beverage served to a Jewish family. The symbol, which was adopted by the Nazi Party during World War II, we know this, was mysteriously traced on top of the milk foam of a hot drink using chocolate sprinkles. It's so funny. To make matters worse, the beverage was then served to a Jewish family who, understandably horrified by a symbol associated with the Nazis, who was responsible for the slaughter of 6 million Jews during the Second World War. So you just repeated yourself, and then repeated yourself, and then you repeated yourself. This is a horribly written article. A horribly written article in general. Something you could have said at the very top, as an obviously, and then we're done with it. This is a perfect example of, pardon the pun, we're talking about a barista milking a situation, milking an article for all it's worth, because I guess you need to have like a certain quota of characters before you turn this in. This is a shit article. The topic is interesting, but the article is very poorly written. The manager of Coffee Cup in West Hampstead informed the Metro newspaper that the incident is being investigated after the publication reported that video footage, which I do have, appeared to demonstrate the barista had produced the deeply offensive symbol. You could just say symbol. You don't have to write deeply offensive. We can figure that part out, unless you are a Holocaust denier. In that case, you wouldn't find the symbol offensive at all. But that's an entirely different conversation altogether. But the symbol, you could just stick the symbol. Deeply offensive? We could figure that part out for ourselves. Produced a swirl accidentally whilst attempting to create a swirl. Okay. He informed the paper that the Jewish family were absolutely lovely people, and that he was shocked and upset when the father from the group approached him and revealed his wife's coffee had something like a swastika in the foam. That was a quote. His wife's coffee had something like a swastika in the foam. The manager continued. I told the barista to go home. The barista said he did not do it on purpose, and it was just chance that the pattern had formed in the foam. However, with everything that is going on in the world, we have to protect our customers. Okay. Speaking to Jewish news, what is Jewish news? It's just like all your Jew shit right here. Remember, I come from a Jewish family, so just in case anybody's aware or taking this out of context, just to let you know, these blue eyes come from somewhere. Just want you to know that. I just don't really advertise it because I have better things to do. With everything going on in the world, we have to protect our customers. Speaking to Jewish News, the 45-year-old man who lodged the complaint at the cafe explained his wife had ordered a cappuccino, and when it arrived, he wondered, surely that is a swastika? The father of the two stated that he spoke to a manager, mentioning that his family were visibly Jewish. What is visibly Jewish? That sounds like a Carlin joke. It's like, happens to be. He happens to be black. I have a friend who happens to be black. Like, it's a fucking accident. What if he happened to be Scandinavian? That's how the joke goes. They are visibly Jewish. What is visible? Okay, I've talked about this before. I am not, to the naked eye, I'm not visibly Jewish. I have no markings. I have no necklace. I have no symbols. I have no attire. And I'm not wearing a kippah. I'm not wearing anything in any way, shape, or form. I had some diamonds, but those are on my father's ring. But other than that, I have nothing that says to me and to the naked eye that I am visibly Jewish. So in order for them to be visibly Jewish, they would have to be somewhat Orthodox, wearing a kippah. Okay? Or the wife was constantly complaining. One of the two. The manager continued to tell the visitor to go home. He said, surely this is we're visibly Jewish, and that to him it appeared like a very obvious symbol, and we're not okay with it. There is, there's a picture of Adolf. Old Addy right there. The swastika was a symbol, the Nazi part. Once again, we know. We get it. Bad people did bad things. There's the symbol. I totally get it. Yes, we know. This is just a classically bad article, though. There are two things that annoy me. One is bad writing, and the two is a swastika. Swastikas annoy me. They're not, especially that one. That one's too bold. It's too ostentatious, at what you call it. The problem with the German swastika is it was too gaudy. It was too in your face. It was almost like in the scene in the movie Goodfellas. There was too many onions in the sauce. It was too overpowering. It was too oppressive, I guess you would say. But the article is almost as offensive as the symbol itself. The manager informed the Metro that was deeply offensive and informed the customer who raised the complaint was very understanding and explained how the symbol was very offensive and everyone needed to be aware. They further added that the barista was distressed and claimed that he was unaware of the symbol's significance. The Community Safety Trust, CST, which oversees security matters for Jewish communities, commended the cafe's prompt response. Who is the CST? Is that like the fucking Jew police or something like that? I know they have something like that in Brooklyn. But is that like the Vatican Guard? The Royal Guard or whatever that is? The CST, the Community Safety Trust, which oversees security matters for Jewish communities, commended the cafe's prompt response. In a statement, they said, "It is understandable why the family found it upsetting, and we're grateful for the manager for taking it so seriously." Okay. I think my first response to all this is, all right, my first question is this. How good is the coffee? Because if the coffee is really that good, I'd probably overlook it. I'd probably be like, you know what? I get it. But this is... Like, if I went to the Thinking Cup in Boston, and I got, something in there, and they designed my... I asked for, first of all, I'm not asking for sprinkles in my coffee. I don't ask for chocolate sprinkles in my coffee. Who does that? I understand you can get like chocolate powder. So if you're building a coffee or you're building a cappuccino, generally I know you can get vanilla powder on top of it. You can get nutmeg on top of it. You can get cinnamon. Cinnamon is my normal go-to in a cappuccino, or pretty much any coffee for that matter that has cream on top, or foamed milk or foamed cream. Generally, milk is easier to foam than cream is. But if you do work hard enough on it, you can foam cream. Truth. I've even had baristas that I've gotten coffee from be like, "Can you put heavy cream in that? Can you foam that?" Be like, "Really?" Be like, "Try it. Just try it." And they're like, "Oh yeah, that's really good." Because heavy cream versus milk. First of all, milk is foamed milk can be a laxative. Foamed cream is a little more stable. And it also has a deeper layer of flavor that really, first of all, sends the calories through the roof, but two, really gives you a richer coffee experience. So, next best is half and half, but generally on top of that, I'd go with heavy cream any chance I could get. If you don't like heavy cream, or you can't do heavy cream, or you don't want to do milk for some reason, I generally recommend, as I have before in the past, Chobani. Chobani has a bunch of delicious flavors. The go-to obviously is sweet cream. There's vanilla, but there's also sweet cream. Sweet cream is fantastic. The only one I didn't like was cookie dough, but the rest of them were very, very good. Peppermint was meh, but cinnamon toast crunch one was kind of like that. It's like cinnamon French toast, basically. That one is fantastic. That's arguably the best one. But the go-to is sweet cream, and then cinnamon French toast is marvelous. But they have like hazelnut and a few other ones. Pumpkin, obviously, duh. But there's that. Anyways, we're getting away from topic. I mean, first of all, if you go that extra route and on my Yeezy Heil Hitler latte, I might let it slide. Be like, I don't know, man. I just paid $8 for this thing, and I'm not gonna let it go to waste. I'm assuming the coffee was comped per se. There is video actually of the swastika in progress. Here he is right there. He's just pouring cream in. So he's pouring the cream in. So there he goes. He's making the cream right there. He's making the sprinkles, putting the sprinkles in there. Okay, he's throwing it in. All right. And then right here, and then he puts it up on the thing, and then he just kind of swirls it. That's it. He throws it up there. I think it's like, yeah, he's pulling the other stuff out of there, and now he's just going back to what he was doing. The question is, can he even see the customers? I don't think he can. I'll be honest with you. I don't think he can. She's not even paying attention. Look, she's just putting her, not that, whatever. They're doing their job. They're cleaning dishes. They're baristaing. They're moving back and forth. I don't know if they're talking about it or laughing or whatever, but the coffee's just sitting there. Like nothing's going on. He's just making his coffee. I don't know. I can't say definitively, because if you do that, it is totally, I'm guessing he was trying to make some type of, now, is it a perfect swastika? I'd say no. But I mean, actually, that's pretty fucking close. I'll be honest with you. It's pretty, never mind. I'm going to take that statement back. That's pretty on point. That's pretty on point. But it looks fantastic. I mean, if I saw that, okay, let's say I'm the barista. I'm J Barista. I'm the J-rista. And I'm making these people coffee. And I put in the sprinkles like I'm supposed to. Okay. And then I give that thing the little twisty twist. Because it looks like he just did a left-right. He did like a cross. Ho, ho. And then he did the twist. If I saw that, if I was truly paying attention, I'll be honest with you, I would have noticed it. I'd like to call myself observant. And I think in this case, I probably would have seen it. And I probably would have been like, you know what? You know what this could use? More sprinkles. And I would probably sprinkle that. Or you know what? You know what you can do in this case? Let's say you're a barista and you accidentally make a Nazi coffee. What you would do in that scenario is you would take like a toothpick. You take a toothpick and then you swirl it more. You start in the middle and then you swirl your way out. And that will obviously create the proper effect where the coffee will be more circular. Okay. But it's this guy got fired. This male barista obviously got fired. My opinion on everything is, of course, if you're going to make coffee, just make it at home. If you're going to make tea, make it at home. Or if you have to go out and get coffee, just go to Circle K. Their coffee's amazing. It really is. You can grind the beans right there, and you can make great iced coffee. I don't know what you're doing. I mean, how much? This is Great Britain, I'm assuming. So how much did this cost? $16 American for that thing. But honestly, if the coffee's good, was it an accident? I don't know. It might have just been. It's very coincidental. Now, could it be possible that, yeah, he knew? It could be possible like he saw them. He's like, I'll make that bitch a fucking cappuccino. And then he made her the Sig Heil latte. It's very possible. I won't rule that out. I'm not going to get stressed over it. I'm not going to cry anti-Semitism. I don't do that. I'm just going to drink my coffee. But here's the thing. If it wasn't an accident, or even if it was an accident and I knew straight up that was a cappuccino, why are we speaking to the manager? What is the manager going to approve? Speak to the barista. Let's say you are a Jew face like me, and you get the old Nazi mocha, the old third Reichachino. The Reichachino, yeah. The white man's latte. The old blue-eyed coffee bean. Sit the barista down. Be like, can I talk to the barista for a second? Bring the barista out here. Sit the barista down. Be like, can I ask you something? This is my wife, Helga. Or, I don't know what Jewish woman. Barbara. There we go. Barbs. There's a Jewish woman's name. This is my wife, Barbara. You made her coffee. Does this look off to you? I mean, I'm just curious. I'm a coffee man. That's why I'm here. I hear you guys make great coffee. Some say the purest coffee in all the land. It literally, exterminates the competition. They're really cooking with gas. That being said, do you notice a peculiar symbol on top of my wife's coffee, good sir? And if the barista says, I don't think so. I mean, you could be like, okay, well, you into history? There's a certain part I think you should know about. Let's talk about between 1938 to 1945. That's the Cliff Notes version. It's just those 7 years. Now, if he says, yeah, I know what it was, it actually kind of looks like that, but I didn't have time to mix it or whatever. There's variations to the offense here. You're right. There, you can. It's offensive to not know. Like you didn't know that Adolf was a thing, and there's a reason nobody names their kid Adolf anymore. You know that Hitler family doesn't have neighbors, right? But that's if they completely oblivious. All right, fine. Generally, baristas are not older; they're usually younger. You know, most baristas nowadays are born after September 11th. So, there's something to be said. Let's say he did know, or let's say it was an accident, but I wasn't really thinking anything of it. I didn't see you guys come in. It's like, all right, well, look, can you do me a favor? Can you either remake this or add some more sprinkles for your charge? Something to kind of take away the visual appeal. I bet your coffee's great, sir. I'll make it worth your while, but if you could do me a favor and, I guess, remix this latte, this cappuccino, I'd greatly appreciate it. At least my wife would. And if he says, yes, I'm sorry. Cool. And if the manager comes over after that and says, is there anything wrong? I'd be like, nah, there was something in my coffee, like a hair or something. He's taking care of it. Okay, good. Don't worry. Cool. You know what? In my opinion, all is forgiven. You know? Because sometimes an anti-Semite can make a really good cup of joe. But speak to the barista. speak to the root of where the issue lies. If the barista did it, I almost forgot my point in this last one. If the barista did do it on purpose, talk to them. Be like, you realize what you did? Yep, sure did. You realize how this might be offensive to me? Yes, I do. Okay. Look, do me a favor. If you could just take this back and make me a coffee that's a little more dewy. Can you do a Star David? Can you do that? You can do that. That'd be great. Got any blue sprinkles? Got anything else? Just, like, did you spit in this coffee? Did you do anything else other than add chocolate sprinkles in a very convenient pattern? We got to learn how to be not so sensitive. Now, let's go to the height of this. Let's go to full-blown, I knew what I was doing. I meant to do it. Once it was done, I saw you come in. I make no excuses. I wholeheartedly admit that I put a offensive, deeply offensive symbol in your wife's cappuccino. All right. That's when you go get the manager and be like, cool. I appreciate you telling me the truth. Thank you. You can leave now. Then you go to the manager and go, hey, can I talk to you for a second? Be like, listen, I spoke to the barista. I asked him, did you notice anything suspicious? And the barista said, yeah, I knew what I was doing. What about it? Listen, we all love a good cappuccino, but this isn't going to work for me. Can you do me something? Can you maybe get like I don't know, like the shape of a pony or a bird or a flower? Anything else? That'd be great. I'm assuming at that point in time, the barista would be, quote, let go. So, those are my overlying factors here. I don't know, but I'm not going to go out there and you know, clutch my heart, which we're going to talk about in a minute, and clutch my heart over this. And that's it. He spun the cup to try to make a pattern, but instead of an arty swirl, he accidentally... Like, this is a different... Look, the Metro UK. And the UK has a strong stance against anti-Semitism. Even though their country's fucked up, but still. Look, security footage shows he then spun the cup to try and make a pattern, but instead of an arty swirl, he accidentally created the Nazi symbol. So he's claimed... This journalist or this article writer claims that it may be more of an accident. Okay. Speaking exclusively of the Metro, the cafe's manager said the barista told him the shape was a mistake and didn't realize what it meant. Okay. Lost his job over... You know what's funny, though, is he lost his job over it. God, that coffee looks good. What's that barista going to do now? You could say, some would say, well, he lost his job because of a Jewish guy. No, he lost his job because he made a shitty coffee. Well, he didn't make an artsy enough coffee. Maybe go do something else. You know, maybe try your hand at other things. Maybe being a barista is not your goal in life. Maybe you're just holding it down as a steady job. I guess at this point is, even if this employee, no longer an employee, this unemployee has some anti-Semitic thinking, we shouldn't out them. We shouldn't ostracize them. They're part of the community. They obviously have a talent for making coffee. They could be useful. You got to allow these people back in and the ability to contribute, regardless of how stupid or malicious something is. You know? People with poor taste do good things, or they are useful. But being a barista is nothing to brag about. So quite frankly, you could take your art elsewhere. You could do other things. So I don't claim anti-Semitism here. I claim this might have just been an accident. It might have just been and now but other people's arguments would be, you're telling me a bunch of Jews walked in and this latte just happened to be there just happened to show up at conveniently with these what do you want me to tell you, bro? What do you want me to tell you? I can't lose sleep over this. I'm already losing sleep enough over other things. You think I'm going to sit here and waste my time trying to figure out whether or not the fucking Goebbels made your cappuccino? You really think I'm going to waste my time over that? Anyways, that's enough about the Reichachino. I bet you it's a very good cappuccino, though. I'll be honest with you. And in my experience, I've never had anybody make me a patterned coffee that had questionable markings on it. And even if it did, I would not freak out and lose my mind. That being said, I do want to talk about coffee. I want to finish this podcast a little bit talking about coffee and health. You guys know I'm obviously a coffee fan. I've been drinking coffee for a very long time. I thoroughly enjoy it in the mornings. My portions have gotten smaller and more controlled. But I don't think I can drink it for a while. I have a bit of a health concern, which is bothering me. You guys know I'm 42 years old. I generally take my health very seriously. I'm currently in cutting season. I go to the gym 5 days a week, so that's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday again, and for a little bit, and then of course Sunday I do stairs. So that's 1 hour at level 4, burns about 515 calories. My heart rate's at about 160 beats per minute. I think for some people that's actually a bit high. But I have some actual physical concerns. So I've been reading a lot about AFib, atrial fibrillation. I know there's ventricular fibrillation and things like that, but for the past, I'd say month, I've been having some problems sleeping. I've been stressing out a lot. You guys know that I work really, being honest with you, I've been stressing out a lot about, I work really, really hard. I'm always trying to plan ahead, be as on point with my time, allocating my time as much as possible. And it tends to get me a little pent up. But unfortunately, I think to the point where I'm not sleeping now has caused a major health concern, to the point where I'll wake up and my heart is beating out of my chest. I emailed somebody at 12:52 in the morning. I was not sleeping well. And now it's to the point where this irregular heartbeat, this thumping in my chest, is now more of a common daily theme. And now, what is atrial fibrillation? That is a irregular heartbeat that generally happens from major amounts of stress, hypertension. Also happens with people who are unhealthy, such as obese people. But I'm not obese. I'm not overweight. I'm right where I'm supposed to be, and I'm only getting leaner. I do not take pre-workouts. I do not normally drink afternoon coffees. Actually, my coffee intake now this morning and the day before is down to about 6 ounces. Very small cup of black coffee. And all of my teas are non-caffeinated teas. They're all green tea based or flower based or herbal based. So there's no other stimulants in my diet. However, this AFib is this heartbeat thing is, I was on the stairs stair climb this morning for a full hour. I had no issues. I went through it with no problems. I watched Nico Leonard on YouTube. He's a watch guy. Watched it for a full hour, got off the treadmill, sat down for a minute. As soon as I got off the stair climber, got off of it, I was relaxed. I was relaxing. I was coming down. I'm sitting here talking to you, and I feel like my heart's beating out of my chest. And the one thing, when I was younger, there was one part in this, it's like a National Geographic or a science movie, that it was about the heart, and watching the heartbeat would always give me anxiety. And to me, thinking about it now and watching videos about it and reading articles about it and reviewing preventative and recessive measures, it raises my roof. It's also uncomfortable to talk about because I'm one of those people that, like I said, I go to the gym. I take supplements morning, noon, and night. I preach this stuff. But yet, this sleep issue that I'm having, I now know that this might be a runaway thing. Now, I'm not at the point where I've given up as far as I got to go see a doctor at this point, but I'm now on very high alert. And I'm going to change a lot of things immediately. So, start tomorrow morning. Now, there's been arguments, suggestions both ways that stimulants or caffeine does not help with atrial fibrillation. And there's some that say that it will help, that it won't help, or it'll make it worse, or some say it's not a factor, don't worry about it. Look, we'll start with the path of least resistance. Okay? Obviously, it's obvious that starting off your morning with a cup of something that is a stimulant is going to trigger some type of response. So, coffee generally helps it helps your body, your stomach become more acidic, so that your digestion's better. It raises you up. It's warm. It's a good feeling. But I have to suspend it. So starting tomorrow morning, no stimulants, no coffee whatsoever, no afternoon coffees, no black teas, no Alpha Brain Neuro gummies, which I had 4 left. I can't touch them. No 5-hour energies before the podcast. And then on top of that, no stress. So, anything emotional, anything causing me to elevate, it's out. I have to focus on mindfulness. I have to focus on resting. I have to focus on calm. And anything that could be stressful that is outside of my control, let it go. Because this is actually a serious concern. Because atrial fibrillation, if left unchecked, if you don't take care of it, it can produce real significant problems. It is one of the leading causes of stroke. It's a runaway thing. It's scary. And I've got a lot to look forward to in life, and this is not something that I want to put off. So I'm going to attack this head on with as much natural things as I can do. And I'll check in with you guys from time to time to let you know how I'm progressing. But as of right now, it's here. I feel it. It's right here with me. But I'm breathing. I'm talking my way through it. I'm trying to understand it better. And after this episode, I'm going to see if I can come down and control it and understand that there's a lot of things in life that I can't do anything about. I need to rest. I don't care if I have to go back to gummies. If I have to go out and get another pack of gummies and take 10 milligrams every night, doesn't matter. As long as I'm sleeping. Getting a full night's sleep every single night. Non-negotiable. And if I have to take the day off to just relax and not do any editing or any video work or any creative stuff and just sit there and relax, I'm going to do it. I can't wait for the sun's warmth to gift us once again when the spring hits. I need it. This is definitely concerning for me. Obviously, I'm strong. I'm healthy otherwise. I'm doing more. I'm squatting more often. I squat twice a week now. Doesn't bother me at all in the gym. I go into the gym and I'm there and I'm doing the things. That's the thing, is it's not an issue there. I go in and I do. It's when I'm out. It's when I'm sleeping. It's when I'm waking up. It's when I'm just going about my day. It's when I'm just, or maybe overthinking, overstressing. It's all got to come to a close. And I'm being honest about it because this show is about honesty. It's about health and wellness. Now, there's many medical ways to go about it. There's some shock therapy. There's cold hot therapy out there. There's other things. Now, it could be other things. It could be I have a clogged artery or something like that, but I don't see that as likely. Because I figured as much if I'm going out there and doing all this cardio and doing all this working out, it would have reared its ugly head by then. So, Want to bring that to your attention, let you know this is something I'm going to work on. And I'm going to start by just removing anything that is a stimulant, anything that is a stressor. It's just out. It's out. Whatever it is. If it's friends that cause me stress, if it's family that causes me stress, any type of work or project that's causing me stress, any type of stimulants that induce stress, any type of the stuff that causes me stress, it's out. It ends. I'm done with it. I'm going to relax here. Every time you get on the podcast, I'm not going to freak out. I'm not freaking out. First of all, right now, I'm talking my way through it because it's okay. I'm here letting you guys know that whatever it is, as a man, you can work through it. If it continues to get worse to the point where it's beyond my control and it's 24/7, I'm going to have to figure this out with the help of people who are professionals. But until then, it's still early in the game. We have to learn to just relax, take all the stressors and stimulants out of your life, and see if that just being mindfulness and relaxed and healthy can help solve the problem, or at least control it. Because quite frankly, I got a lot going for me, and I want to keep the party train rolling. So, for now, till I croak, you can find me on Instagram at @positive_sarcasm. You can email me directly through my website, or you can email me directly, positivesarcasm@outlook.com. You can find the anywhere where podcasts are available. The video version is on YouTube and Rumble. Just look for Positive Sarcasm Podcast. And of course, downloadable and streamable directly from my website. But if you are a app fan, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Podcast Addict, of course, also available on Spotify and Substack. So, thank you for listening, watching, and subscribing. And I'll talk to you guys all next week. Recorded here from the Spare Parts Studio, alongside New Hampshire's beautiful seacoast, for entertainment purposes only. This has been a Positive Sarcasm presentation.